Hello, everyone. I'm here with Connecticut, and we're going to be reacting to AdizzPro's "What If Poland Reformed the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth?" Say something, bro.
What do you want me to say, bro? We both like AdizzPro, and he is very good.
All right, buddy. All right,
Come on,
let's just watch it.
how can I have to say it? I don't know what else to say. All right,
We're going to be taking a look at a scenario where
I'm
Poland
gonna
attempts
predict
to
this.
reform.
Poland's gonna unite with Lithuania. I'm predicting it right now.
I'll bet you $10.
I bet you 20 they do.
All right.
The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Now, if you don't know what the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was, it was a very large union between Poland and Lithuania that reached its peak in the early
Wow.
17th century. I'm sure there's a map of it on the screen right now, right?
Yeah.
Editing me.
You
I'm
see all
pretty sure there's a
this?
map on the screen of it.
I'd say it's a pretty good map. Pretty big country.
No, it's pretty tiny, honestly.
Pretty big. It's pretty big. No, it's average.
Nah,
It's
average country. All right, continue,
It's average.
continue the fucking video.
Right? But like I said, today Poland is going to be attempting to reform it. And if you guys do enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new.
Yeah, do that here. We're at 59 right now. We're trying to get to 100. So subscribe, please.
Wait, are we at 59?
Yeah, we're still at 59.
Oh, all right.
All the support is greatly appreciated as we're trying to get to 200,000 subscribers by the end of this summer. If we do so by August 1st, there will be a special video released. Make sure
We don't have any special videos yet. We just want 100.
I mean, we kind of do have a special video, but it's not 400 subscribers. It's just going to be released.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
to join the new Discord server, link in the description, and let's go ahead and jump straight into this video. Now, in order to reform the Polish-Lithuanian
join
Commonwealth,
our
Poland,
Discord server too.
Yeah, join our Discord server. It's in the description. And also,
Yeah.
is going to need Lithuania. So the Polish government goes up to Lithuania's government and they ask them if they want to reform the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, to which we actually have Lithuania saying yes. Now, of course, this
Told you.
I'm gonna crash out.
realistically happening
PayPal
isn't
me
too likely.
PayPal me my $20 after this recording.
I think these two nations enjoy their own sovereignty and really wouldn't want to unite back together, but we're going to be ignoring that. Speaking of ignoring things, NATO, yeah, we're not worried about NATO. We really don't need it. But from here, the Polish-Lithuanians will...
Funny to say that based on what's going on in the world.
now have to go after another country, and they could choose from Ukraine, Belarus, or Latvia. I don't know about you, but I'm not too sure if Poland and Lithuania is ready to fight off Belarus and Ukraine, more specifically Belarus because they're allied with Russia, so these guys will be declaring war upon Latvia. And the Polish-Lithuanians' invasion of Latvia will go very, very quickly, as Latvia is not a very strong country. I mean, neither is Lithuania,
Yeah, very
but
quickly.
you know, it's also...
Very quickly.
Yeah, that looks very quickly, eh?
Yeah, it looks pretty quick.
Poland is a strong country. So Poland versus Latvia doesn't go well for Latvia. They will lose their capital, Riga. They will then be slowly but surely pushed out of this.
Yo, Adizz, you said Poland, Latvia. I thought it was Polish, Lithuanian, bro.
Exactly.
What are you on about? What are you on about, bro?
I'm
No
confused.
disrespect to Adizz, but bro, come on. At least get the country names right.
Look at him. Look at this beautiful man.
Yes, look at him.
Look at this play button. I want that.
Yeah, we want that.
Oh yeah,
Even though only
we're
one of
gonna
us
need
can
two
get it.
because we're gonna need to get two if we ever get to that.
Buddy, guess what? We're never gonna get to that. So what's your point? All right, let's go.
No, we're not gonna be able to get to it if they don't subscribe.
Yeah.
I'm so good at doing these plugins.
Can we stop doing plugins and actually can react to the video?
All right, fine.
This area, and eventually, after the Polish-Lithuanians continue to expand within, they will surrender over. And in this peace treaty, we have
Good job,
Latvia
guys.
fully annexed.
You took over a small country. Good job.
I'm so proud.
by the
We are so proud of you,
Polish-Lithuanian
Poland,
Commonwealth, or the
Lithuania.
beginnings of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I'm pretty sure at this point it would just be called Poland-Lithuania, because the actual Commonwealth, kind of extends all the way out like this. But we're gonna get there eventually. So with Poland now having two
Good
countries under their
historically
control, they're
accurate.
obviously going
Good historic accuracy, Adis. Good job, bro.
I'm so proud of this man.
Mm-hmm.
to look to keep expanding
Adis, if
and
you end up
getting
somehow seeing this, please shout us out. Please shout us out, bro.
I will give you $10.
We will need it.
I'll give you $10 and a free pork roll.
I'll give you the $20 that New Jersey's gonna have to PayPal me after this video. Please, Adis.
And I'll give you an extra 10 and a free pork roll.
Yeah, free pork roll.
Very good.
All right, let's just go.
closer to reforming the historic borders of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, but at the same time they have to be careful because countries don't like it when other countries go on rapid expansion quests. And if you've seen a lot of these videos before, you'll know that sometimes coalitions like to form. We'll see if that happens today. So the Polish-Lithuanians will start to invade into Estonia, and, not gonna go too well for the Estonians. They're gonna lose.
Good job, Poland. Let's go, Poland, Lithuania. Good job, guys.
I don't think it went well for them.
Good job. I'm so proud of them.
They will only lose this southern bit of land over to the PLC, who will leave Estonia looking something like this. And to the dismay of Estonia, who thought they were about to be free
Oh, wow.
and not under a foreign power, the Russians are coming, and the Russians are going to win. And Estonia
Wow.
is
Good
gone.
job,
So that was
Russia.
the
We're so
first
proud of
foreign
you.
nation we saw make a move other than the Polish. But now the PLC is a little bit stuck, and that's because the land that they need is from Belarus, a Russian ally, from Ukraine, someone that they don't really border too well and would be very difficult to win a war against, and Russia, who has Kaliningrad and then some of this land over here, and Russia is the second strongest country in the world, so yeah, you might not be ready for that. So what does Poland do? They truly are stuck. And on top of that, a lot of nations aren't too sure about them. There's a lot of mixed opinions, a lot of neutral opinions about the PLC, so they're going to have to go on a little bit of a PR campaign. And luckily for them, over here to their west, we have Germany, who will be going to war with Czechia over a border dispute. So German troops will start to invade in the Czechia, and Poland's government will reach out to the German government and offer their help. Poland claims that they want no land from Czechia and only wish to aid the Germans in exchange for better relations and improve the...
Well...
Wow.
What should we say here? There's something I feel like we need to break. We need to break the ice. And just the elephant in the room.
You should be the one to say it, New Jersey, eh?
Germany and Poland would never work together.
Even though they're both in NATO, NATO is currently telling, if World War III breaks out, they're telling Germany to roll through Poland and then roll through Russia.
Exactly. Germany enters
Sounds
Poland
like another time in history. All right, let's go. Keep going.
Diplomacy. Germany will accept Poland's offer, and the PLC will start to send its troops into Czechia in order to help out what they hope to be a German ally. Germany will do a majority of the work, but Poland will not just sit by and watch, they'll also help out, and eventually Czechia is split into two even parts, and then these three nations will work out a peace deal in which the Germans will be taking over all of Western Czechia and leaving the nation in a not so great state, in which they will then unite with Slovakia to reform Czechoslovakia. Welcome back to you.
Wow.
Not sure how stable you would be, but why not? Anyway, Poland has now proved itself to Germany that
Square-mini.
Oh my God. Holy shit, I see it though. That's the problem. I see it.
The squarest country is no longer Egypt, it's now Germany.
Yes, for real, for real. All right. Continue the video.
it is in fact a friendly nation, and over the next few months they will develop a closer relationship, and eventually Germany will join an alliance with Poland.
Never gonna happen.
Mission impossible.
On top of that, Poland has been working with some other nations, such as Romania, to improve relations, and most notably, they've also worked with Finland to improve relations.
How?
This
they
is looking
literally just watched their best friend just get absolutely
Listen, if you
destroyed.
get if he just gets rid of Poland, this is gonna look a little familiar. The alliance is gonna look a little familiar, don't you think?
Oh, wait, so what in the world?
Just add Italy and Bulgaria, and the alliance will, and then remove Poland, and the alliance would look a little familiar.
He said Germany, Romania, and Finland.
Italy, Bulgaria. Can we start
Now,
the
Finland
video,
was a
bro?
little bit harder to get as an ally. Poland had to do a lot of work there because Finland and Estonia, we all know, share close relations in real life, and Poland invaded
We just said.
Estonia. Poland was able to frame this against the Russians because the Russians are the ones that technically finished off Estonia. Poland was just taking this historic land. You know, we didn't go in and annex the whole thing. That was Russia. And they successfully spun that against Russia. And now Finland is on Poland's side in this, and I think you guys kind of see where this is going. We got
Okay, that just explains what we just went against. Okay.
Finland, Germany, and Poland all on the same team against the Russians. I mean, historically, none of these countries have successfully, taken out Russia. Germany failed. Poland also failed. They sieged Moscow, but they failed. Finland really hasn't made it past Karelia. And Romania, Romania is a whole other story. But maybe if these forces team up, they'll have a chance to jump Russia. But before we do that,
Well,
let's
actually,
try our
Poland
luck
has
at
passed the
Belarus. So
episode on the time of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I mean,
Okay.
the hell you
the
mean,
PLC
Adis?
will declare
Learn
war
your
on
history.
Belarus, and they will call all their allies into the war. And after many months and possibly years
Wow,
of good
Belarus is
relationships,
in the
these
right
guys
now,
will all
bro.
join in, and they will all start to invade or assist in invading Belarus. PLC troops will cross the border into Belarus and meet resistance. However, the resistance is not very good resistance. That is, of course, until the
What
Russians
resistance?
Look, it's the winged hussars.
get involved. This was
The wing
kind of according to
facade, for
plan.
real,
We all
for
knew
real.
that Russia would back up Belarus in this case.
When the
Belarus and
wing
Russia,
facades
one
arrive,
controls the other. Make your guess. Do they control the other? Debatably. Yes. The answer is yes. But Russia joins the war and the red team braces for impact against one of the strongest countries in the world, assumably. These guys will do the impossible and invade and completely occupy all of Kaliningrad. Now, Kaliningrad
I'm
is like a
cold.
fortress.
What?
I said I'm cold.
Then get a blanket or something.
I have one and
I'm
it's still
cold. It's 100
freezing.
degrees out.
My family has the AC on, bro. And it's like negative 17 degrees in here, bro. It's like
It's one of
Finland
the
temperature.
Finland temperatures is wild.
most
Russian
militarized areas
winter.
Russian winter.
in the world, and the red team lost a lot of troops attempting to invade it, but they did invade it, and they took it from Russian control, just at a very high cost for life. Finland
Imagine
and the
getting beat
PLC will
by those.
You
Beat
just
by
mumbled the way through the loudest part of the video.
Imagine getting beat by smaller countries, Russia. Imagine. Couldn't be
start to
me.
invade into the Estonian parts of Russia, and then Ukraine joins the war, which kind of shifts things up a little bit. They didn't really think Ukraine would join, especially the PLC, who maybe, by now would have thought that countries are kind of, putting together the pieces that Poland might be trying to reform the, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. But apparently Ukraine didn't catch on to that because they just joined the war. And we're going to assume that the
dumb. What do you
Ukraine war
expect?
didn't happen.
I'm sorry. I should not have done that.
That's great. All right, so play a
And that Ukraine
video.
still has control over Crimea. So when this happens, it starts to get not so great for Russia, as Ukrainian forces will now start to move out from their area.
Wow.
The Russians will, however, invade
It's
into
almost like
Donetsk
real
and
life.
Luhansk and occupy the entire Donbass province. Finland then starts to invade into this area of Russia, meeting up with his lake and starting to threaten St.
Yo,
Petersburg.
New Jersey, it's
Down
almost
south,
like
we have
real
the
life.
What?
It's almost like real life.
Yeah, it is.
PLC and
Wow.
Ukraine capturing the capital of Belarus, which will
Yeah, this is actually what's happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
This isn't a scenario. AdizzPro is just a prophet. Look at this man. He's God.
AdizzPro, he's just telling us the future. He's telling us what is going to happen.
Adizzism.
Yeah, yes. I just play the video, bro.
officially capitulate the country, making there exist an interesting situation for Russia and an interesting decision to be made. Keep fighting against the red team, probably not safe, or peace out. So Russia's going to make a compromise, specifically with the red team over Ukraine.
No. Russia would never compromise. They would fight until the end. Especially with Putin in charge. That guy's insane.
False news, Adizz. We were believing in you for a second to actually be realistic.
I can't believe this. I'm disappointed.
Real.
Ukraine. Now remember, Ukraine is not a member of Poland's alliance. They're not guaranteed by Poland or anyone like that. And at this point, Russia likely knows that the PLC is trying to come back, so they're going to offer some negotiations. You give us back Kaliningrad, and you let us annex this area of Ukraine, and we'll let you have all of Belarus. And the red team is going to accept that. So Ukraine is abandoned by its potential allies, as the entirety of Belarus...
I can't believe this, bro. Ukraine, there's no way you didn't figure that out.
Ukraine is stupid. What do you expect?
Can't believe this.
Is annexed into the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, who at this point is starting to look a little bit recognizable. With Ukraine being abandoned, it's likely that Russia and them continue to fight their war. All the while, the red team will continue to gain strength. So with the red team now out of the war, Russia's forces in Ukraine are going to start to experience a lot of success. And they retain their control over the Donbass, but then they start sending in additional forces, and eventually Ukraine is going to look like how it does in the modern day, with a third of it being occupied by Russian forces. And then Ukraine's going to start to cry, because the red team will betray it, and their forces will begin to move in, specifically from Belarus, areas of which Ukraine just helped to annex into the PLC. Romania will also start to occupy different areas, and eventually Ukraine is weakened enough to where the Russians can then go ahead and push in with the remaining of their forces and meet the red team halfway in the middle. At this point, Russia is pretty much under the assumption that the red team is friendly with them and that they no longer want to have any kind of war. You know, you can just negotiate it with us. You know, you gave us Ukraine, you agreed to give up Kaliningrad and Estonia to the... What?
Russia, the red team is not friends with you. Don't get your hopes up.
There's no way Russia has the same intelligence as Ukraine. Actually, no, there is a way, because Putin's there. I'm probably on a watch list. I'm probably on a watch list now, but I don't care. I'm New Jersey.
Yeah, New Jersey's him, except
Much
for
better.
the upcoming video or video that already came out. One of those.
The Russians, it
I don't know
seems
if
as
it
if
came out
the
yet.
Eastern
We're
Europeans
watching
are
a movie.
finally having a friendly attitude towards them, a more tolerant attitude, and Russia's hopeful that no other war will break out, but they are always going to be cautious. So let's take a look at this peace treaty where Ukraine will be divided up. And in this treaty here, we have probably the worst thing that I've ever set eyes on, but Ukraine is partitioned between the Russians and the PLC, and it's honestly horrible. But these are pretty close to the historical borders of the PLC, and then Russia just took everything else. And in the war, really, I mean, it was stalemated until the PLC kind of showed up, much like real life, you know, where Russia and Ukraine are kind of in a stalemate, sort of, kind of, not much movement. The PLC showed up and then just steamrolled Ukraine, and then Russia got the rest. The Russians are okay with that, and they also hope that giving the red team a little bit more land also means that they won't invade them, or not. The red team will immediately divert their forces towards the Russians. They will recapture all of Kaliningrad, secure Estonia, and then start to invade the recently annexed areas of Ukraine from Russia. But a majority of the forces of the red team are lined up on the Belarusian border, and these guys are going to try to do the impossible. They're going to try to invade Russia, but they're starting in January.
Bro, why start in January, dumbass?
Their theory is that if they reach Moscow by spring, then, you know, all of the snow and coldness will be gone. It's going to be a little bit muddy. That might be an issue, but by summer, that mud should be gone, and then they can continue to roll through Russia. That is kind of their plan. Get to Moscow by the summer. So let's see if they can do it. Finland will do pretty much all of the heavy lifting up north, reinvading the areas which they were just in a few months ago. Meanwhile, the Romanians will focus on capturing the remaining areas of Ukraine, and the Germans and the Polish, who have the most experience in doing this kind of stuff, will focus on the main invasion force, centering out from Belarus. Also, this thing is more than likely being heavily supported by you-know-who, maybe even by Western Europe, because, you know, this is a chance to get rid of Russia once and for all. So they got foreign aid as well. You know, Russia might be cooked here. In the south, the red team is going to have a lot of difficulty invading. Simply, they aren't too focused on this area, and so the Russians will have a pretty easy time pushing back at times, also eventually reaching the Ukrainian border, but never advancing into PLC territory. Up north, the red team does a pretty good capturing of St. Petersburg, and this is probably something that isn't so good for Russia. In World War II, Germany never actually officially occupied any of St. Petersburg, or as it used to be called, Leningrad, and some historians like to view that as like a major mistake of Germany. They should have just, you know, occupied Leningrad, but they never did. But they're doing it here. The Polish and the Germans and the Finnish are working together to occupy the city, one of the major cities in Russia, and the former capital of the Russian Empire.
I never thought I'd hear such a sentence in my life.
Wait, what did he say? I wasn't paying attention.
The Germans, the Polish, and the Finnish working together.
Oh my god, it's a moment in history.
It is now spring, and the advancement is going to start to slow down a little bit. It's getting a little bit muddy, getting kind of harder to advance. This will give time for the Russians to make some counteroffensive in key areas, or maybe not key areas, but certain areas, especially around this lake up here, but also down here in Ukraine, taking back Crimea and pushing the PLC back to its border. But then summer rolls around, and all of that counteroffensive work goes to nothing, as the red team will continue to advance into Russian territory, and eventually we have the capturing of Moscow, wherever it is. I need to really put the capitals on this map. Well, actually, when you're seeing this video, which is Saturday not Saturday, sorry, Wednesday the 25th. The Fixing the World Map stream was a week ago at this point. I'm recording this a week ago when you're seeing this because I'm on vacation throughout this entire week. But yeah, none of these videos have the updated world map in it, but all the videos next week will. Anyway, Moscow is gone, and at this point the Russians are starting to capitulate a little bit. They do still have a stronghold in the south, but special team forces by Finland are gonna finish the occupation or annexation of the northern region. Of course, it wouldn't happen that quickly, but with a collapse of the Russian government and
The finished.
Yo.
The military, it very well could happen. Just once again, not that quickly. Then the forces will start to focus in on the Ukrainian area. And finally, the Russians will make the decision to surrender on over to the PLC and their allies. Now, could Russia realistically be back this coalition against
bro.
them? I'm not too sure. Russia has kind of failed to, take all of Ukraine. If they would have taken all of Ukraine by now, I would have said yes, but since that war is still ongoing and since it's pretty stalemated, I'm going to go ahead and say that probably not. I don't know if this coalition realistically would be strong enough to actually beat Russia back this bad. Based on Ukraine, maybe. But that is going to do it for Russia, so let's go ahead and take a look at this peace deal where the PLC will complete its empire. And in this peace treaty here, we can see that the PLC will be taking this land away from Russia. They'll also be creating a new Ukrainian puppet state, and Finland will be getting this land from Russia. And there it is. So the PLC has officially been formed by Poland and technically Lithuania as well, but the Commonwealth has returned. Is this the exact borders of what it used to look like? No, it's not. At least not in the west. In the east it is, that is correct. But over here, Poland used to not look like how it does modernly, of course. After World War II, it changed into what it looks like now. But as we all know from back then, it was like something like that. And then, yeah, it looked like this. There's also technically some Romanian land, I think, something like that. But we're not worried about that. We have the PLC back. And if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. All the support is greatly appreciated.
Alright. Do that to us. Do what he said to us. Give us likes, give us
Yeah,
subscribers.
send support. Send help. New Jersey's holding me hostage.
No.
Help, guys. I don't want to die tomorrow.
Yeah,
He's not feeding me.
get us 100 subscribers, and I'll give him food.
Please help. I don't feel safe in here. I'm in his basement right now.